begin with some breaking news this morning. U.S. President Donald Trump is threatening to impose a 100% tariff on all Canadian goods entering the United States. In a post on social media, he says if Governor Carney thinks he is going to make Canada drop-off port for China to send goods and products into the United States, he is sorely mistaken. China will eat Canada alive, completely devour it, including the destruction of their businesses, social fabric, and general way of life. If Canada makes a deal with China, it will immediately be hit with a 100% tariff against all Canadian goods and products coming into the USA. This post comes just over a week after Trump said this about the Canada-China agreement.
If you can get a deal with China, you should do that.
This new threat comes as a review is coming up into the North American trilateral trade deal known as CUSMA. Let's now bring in CTV News political commentator Scott Reid. Morning, Scott. Good to see you.
Morning, Lauren.
So an interesting turn of events here after Trump just last week said Canada should indeed go ahead and make the deal with China. Are you surprised by this response from Trump, and why do you think he changed his mind here?
I'd like to say I'm terribly surprised, but I'm not. I mean, this is sort of standard Donald Trump reliability, Donald Trump's signature consistency and predictability of thought. Look, you know, the challenge we face is that Donald Trump is clearly in an erratic phase right now. And I think it is important to put these comments about Canada in the context of Donald Trump's week. He's under severe pressure at home. His approval ratings are falling steeply. He had a humiliating reversal on the world stage at Davos over Greenland. He's being repudiated around the world. Keir Starmer, Prince Harry, other leaders for his incredibly ignorant and disrespectful comments about 9/11, Afghanistan, and the contributions of other NATO allies, who, like Canada, we lost 157 troops in that, coming in an Article 5 invocation to the support of the United States. Donald Trump is like a metal plate in a microwave. He is just snapping and lighting up and firing in all directions these days. And so it is difficult, as serious as this is, this threat, it's difficult to know how serious you need to take it.
Well, with that said, how likely do you think Carney is to backtrack on the deal?
I don't know if he'll backtrack. That would be very difficult. But I think in some ways this validates the wisdom of trying to get that deal, and that it obviously provides him with some leverage. Trump is telecasting. He is telegraphing that he is bothered by it, even if he wasn't at first instance, even if he didn't have the shrewdness to recognize at the time that this does provide some ballast for Canada. And so I think, you know, what we'll see is the China deal, particularly with respect to EVs, probably becomes something of a bargaining chip in these discussions with the USMCA. This is the first bolt across the bow. Trump likes to brag about the art of the deal and how he huffs and puffs and bullies people and then moves them to a different place. I think by going in and getting this deal, Carney has created a chit that he can effectively take off of the table in CUSMA discussions with Trump, and that would be my prediction as to how this unfolds.
Is this hurting Canada's reputation while negotiating?
I don't think it's hurting Canada's reputation. I mean, Canada's reputation right now is, if anything, strengthened. People are watching what's happening. They're seeing Trump attack Keir Starmer, NATO, obviously Greenland, Denmark. You know, in this suite of posts that he put out 70 posts the night before last in his return from Davos, all over the place. And in that, he's praising the Chinese president. Now he's saying any trucker trade with the Chinese president is evidence of malfeasance. So I don't think that it's Canada's reputation that's risk. I really do think we're watching a president unravel on the world stage. And to be honest with you, my prediction is he's only going to be more acidic, more attacking, more unpredictable in his postings and his policies as he feels the domestic and international pressure. This is a guy who feels hunted right now, and his only response is to attack and bite.
It also seems to be getting a little bit personal here with Trump referring to Carney as Governor Carney. What's your take on that?
I'm glad you raised it because it's a very important point. This is the first time that Trump, to my recollection, has referred to Carney as governor. It was a denigrating term that he applied to Justin Trudeau. So it's clearly a signal. In many respects, it's probably a response to the Davos speech. Trump reads headlines voraciously. He recognizes that Carney captured something on the international stage, and that in large part it was in response to his erraticism. He's noticing that contrast. He does not appreciate that contrast. He is all ego all the time. And in that sense, there is risk, obviously, for Canada. On the other hand, you do get the sense that Trump's leverage over others is starting to diminish. Yes, we're going to have to punch our way through negotiations with him. But increasingly, this looks like a president who is isolated politically, isolated diplomatically, and we'll have to see how he manages himself economically.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Scott, thank you for breaking that down for us.
Thank you.
That is CTV News political commentator Scott Reid and former Director of Communications for Prime Minister Paul Martin.